What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel as we are doing our match day 16.
It is 16. It's actually 16. Yes. And it is the last game before the World Cup. It is the last. Is it the penultimate? Is that what they call it when it's the last? I don't know.
No, it's second to last penultimate.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
You should know that.
I should know that. It's the last game before the World Cup, guys. It's the half-term break. And we're going to be talking about last week's games, and we're also going to be talking about the forthcoming games, aren't we, Zach? So,
yes.
Last week, we're going to be talking about the last week's games. The first game is, boom, Nottingham Forest versus Brentford.
I bet you were happy with that.
I wasn't happy at all. It wasn't happy at all. Nottingham Forest are rock bottom of the Premier League, and again, I feel we was robbed in this game.
To put it in context, didn't they score a late winner, but the ball didn't actually go over the line?
Well,
it didn't look like it went over the line.
You and me both agreed that it didn't look like it went over the line, but nobody has said anything otherwise, and they believe that it did go over the line. But it was scored in the 96th minute, 97th minute.
That's because there's a penalty beforehand in the game, and they VAR checked it for a red card, and they gave it a yellow.
Why is so many games at the moment, right? Why is it so many games at the moment just getting ridiculous amounts of overtime? 97, 98,
You're playing 100 minutes.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What annoyed me the most about this game is the pathetic referee decisions and VAR decisions of the week. Because, look, let's just put that goal behind us, right? Wissa was brought down in the first half, right? Now, whether you believe that he was touched or he wasn't touched, the referee deemed him to be brought down by the goalkeeper, right? And the laws of the land state that if you are taken down by the goalkeeper in the penalty and it's deemed to be a clear on goal, it's a red card.
Yeah.
Right?
I personally don't think there was enough contact for it to be a penalty. But if the ref has given it a penalty, it's a red card.
Yeah. So he agrees that there was an incident. He's given it a penalty. Wissa's scored, but they've only given him a yellow card. It's just continue. There's just not enough consistency with VAR.
You never know what's going to happen.
You don't.
You can't celebrate a goal anymore. I think what they should do is for 3 months, get rid of it. For 3 months after the World Cup. And when it comes back, we can decide next season if it's better or worse with VAR.
Look. I agree that VAR is a good thing. I've seen football in years gone by, and there's been some stupid decisions. But I just think what needs to happen is the referee needs to make the decision. And if he can't make the decision, then he calls for the camera and he looks at the camera and he makes a decision. There shouldn't be none of this decisions being made behind his back, because you need to have a fourth man in football. You know, you've got the referee, his assistants, you need VAR, but you shouldn't have. At the end of the day, what is the point of a referee? If VAR is going to be making the decisions, what is the point of him?
All the game.
That's the job of the referee. But there we are. Anyway, the game, I think it was Ivan Toney scored the first goal for Brentford. It was a penalty.
No, in Burmo.
In Burmo, because Toney wasn't playing. Apologies.
Because of reasons. That's why he hasn't been called up to the World Cup, Ivan Toney. It's because of him betting.
Now, that wasn't the reason why he didn't play for the game. The reason why he didn't play in the game was because he had 5 yellow cards and was suspended.
Oh.
But yeah, he hasn't been called up for England because you said it was because
of his betting,
of match bettings. Because in the past, he's assisting with the FA at the moment because of match betting for before he was playing for Peterborough. I think it was years and years and years ago. There's somebody said that he, betted, and you're not allowed to bet on a game when you're a professional footballer.
What if you're betting on your team?
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to bet as a professional footballer. You're not allowed to bet on your team because you can be swayed to making a bet. So that isn't what was announced today. What's his name? The manager for England said
Southgate.
He said that was no reason why he didn't take him. He said the reason why he didn't take him is because there was other people that he deemed to be better than him. Or he didn't say it in those words, but I don't personally think that Ivan Toney was ready for the World Cup. Personally, personally.
But now He'll leave Brentford. He's gone in January.
I don't think he was good enough to go to the World Cup, but if he was a Newcastle player,
and Wilson played for Brentford,
then I think
Ivan Toney would have
gone. And I just think that's a little bit wrong. But I agree with what you're saying, and we've had a little bit of a chat about this in the last few days, haven't we? That now I think Ivan Toney will be like, do you know what? I'm not going to get any further with Brentford. It's time for me to leave. And I think that's sad.
Make sure to put this in the comments. Do you think Ivan Toney should have been taken to the World Cup? Go and decide it in the comments.
Good one. I mean, you look at the World Cup team, and we will do an episode on this. We've got a few episodes coming up soon, guys. We've still got to do the video for us going up north, going around the stadiums. That will be coming up soon. But we're also going to do a little bit of a World Cup thing. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do a World Cup. You want to do a World Cup video, didn't you, Zach? So 26-man
squad.
Yeah.
We're fine to it.
Yeah. I don't think that Sterling should have gone, personally.
I think he should have. Who are
Who
you going to take of Raheem Sterling to a World Cup?
Somebody that's on form. Ivan Toney.
Raheem Sterling is better for England than Ivan Toney. Can't play Ivan Toney in a World Cup with 0 caps.
Anyway, look, this isn't talking about the World Cup. This is talking about last week's games and match day 16. Nottingham Forest then. Weiser scored the second goal for Brentford, and Nottingham Forest scored a very, very late goal at the end there. You predicted that it was going to be 2-1 Brentford.
No, I didn't.
2-1 Forest, sorry. I predicted 2-1 Brentford. Both of us were wrong.
I predicted 1-0.
Sorry. I do apologise. I can't read. I need to go to Specsavers. I can't read properly. Should we start again?
Look there.
You did. You predicted 1-1. I predicted 2-1. You get the point. I don't get the point. Let's move on to the next one. Wolves versus Brighton. Brighton won that game 3-2. What was your prediction for this game, Zach? Can you remember?
I predicted 2-0 Brighton.
And I predicted 3-1 Brighton. Have you got anything to say about this game at all? Was it a good game? I can't remember. It seems that long ago.
Yeah, it does seem very long ago. I cannot remember it. There's only a couple games that I remember that week. That wasn't one of them.
No.
I reckon it was entertaining. I just don't know what happened in it.
But we both got a point.
I think everything... Didn't someone get sent off?
Yes. Didn't...
Nathan Smedo.
Oh. Who's he play for?
Wolves.
So that means that Wolves have had 2 sell-ins off in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Interesting. What position does that guy play that you're talking about? I don't know Wolves.
Right wing back. Right.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Well, may I add, a news just coming in that Jurgen Klopp has been given a week's touchline suspension for that incident against City. Was it City?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been given a 1-match suspension, so he's not allowed to be on the pitch for 1 game. So whether that'll be after the World Cup or whether it'll be in this week's game against Southampton, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But anyway, 1 point each. Do you want to introduce the next game?
It is the mighty Manchester City.
Debatable.
Who faced Fulham.
Yeah. What did you predict on that one?
4-1 Man City.
4-1 Man City. I said 3-1 Man City. So, have you got anything to say about that game? Can you remember who scored?
Haaland scored.
Question.
Haaland scored. Haaland was on the Haaland and De Bruyne.
How many times are you going to say Haaland?
Haaland and De Bruyne were on the pitch for 3 minutes together.
Yeah.
And Haaland scored 2 goals.
2 goals.
With De Bruyne assisting 1.
So how many goals has he scored now for City?
Too many to count.
We both got a point in that one. We didn't get the score right, but we did.
Was that a penalty though?
Again, I don't think so. It was very soft.
More of it. Was it a red card? Definitely not.
It wasn't a red card.
Definitely not.
In my mind, it was. Who brought him down? Was it defender? Wasn't it? Brought him down.
So what happened is João Cancelo, our left back, shoulder barged into him in the box, but their striker looked over at him, looked over at him. He knew he was coming in for it, so he kind of jumped, dived as well. I don't think it's red card. Considering some of the other things that are exactly the same that happened this week.
It was just a dive, and I was just so annoyed with that game. Let's move on. Leeds United versus Bournemouth. The score ended up Leeds United 4, Bournemouth 3.
Bournemouth were 3-1 up.
What one hell of a game. One hell of a game.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Leeds United and some of the young players they have on the wing. So quick and they're so skillful.
Yeah.
Like Somerville. You have no clue who he is, but he's really, really good.
Somerville. Jimmy Somerville? You've not a clue who he is, neither of you.
Nope.
It hurts so good. 4-3 was the score there. And I mean, like I say, Leeds was it 3-1 down, were they? And they come back.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of character to come back from that.
You do. But one thing that was abysmal about this game, right? Did you see the celebration that Leeds manager done?
What? Oh, he lied on the floor, didn't he?
Oh, he done some sort of weird celebration.
Isn't he?
Yeah, American says it.
There was one of them where he scored and he just lied on the floor, flat down, face down, just lied on the floor.
You predicted 2-0 for that game, and I predicted 2-1. So we both get a point. Are Leeds on the up now, do you think?
You can't say that about any team in the league this season.
One team that you can say is on the up because they're actually winning a game for a change is Leicester City. Everton 0, Leicester City 2.
And James Maddison.
Yeah.
Called up for the World Cup.
Mm.
He is such a good player and he deserves it. Will he get a minute? Nope.
No, I don't think he will. You predicted 1-1 for this game.
Oh, no.
And I predicted 2-1 Everton. So none of us get any points for that whatsoever.
At least you didn't get a point.
So should we move on? I think the next one is what we called Game of the Week, wasn't it?
Oh, my day. That defending. Do you see that defending by Chelsea?
No, I didn't.
Ball came into the box. About 7 players missed it. And they scored.
They scored. Oh, I did see that one.
And Gabriel scored on his birthday.
Yes. So it was 0-1. You predicted 2-1 to Chelsea, and I predicted 3-2 to Arsenal. I predicted a high-scoring game.
Get a point off that.
The only right thing that was said about that was that I predicted the right score. So 1 point for me again there on that one. Moving swiftly on, shall we? Do you want to introduce this one?
Aston Villa, Manchester United. And then in the cup, they beat them 4-2. United beat them 4-2 in the cup. They lost 3-1 in the league. Unai Emery is very good. And I think he's going to be very good for Villa. Don't think Gerrard was the right option. Sacking him was very good. Unai Emery now, he's going to change them, I think.
Right, okay. And it was, a cracking game.
Yeah.
But again, Man United were poor, weren't they? And we keep saying that, Man United are back on form. And they're up there. They're about 5th in the league. But
you know when Jurgen Klopp joined Liverpool for the first season, he was quite inconsistent. Same with Ten Hag. He's been quite inconsistent this year. United could go and beat Liverpool 2-0 and then they go and lose to Villa 3-1.
Do you think he's the man for the job at Old Trafford?
Yes.
So we just got to give him time, yeah?
Time.
So you predicted the score to be 2-1 United, 0 points for you, and I predicted 2-0 to United, 0 points for me. Should we move on?
Yes.
Go on then, introduce it.
Newcastle are just so good.
Yeah.
4-1 against Southampton.
Yeah. Should we be looking at Newcastle now and asking questions? Is now the time? I mean, because you've got to look at it now. We're going to come back from the World Cup and they're going to spend a little bit more money, aren't they?
Have you heard of this player called Almiron?
Nope.
Well, he plays for Newcastle and there's this little thing going on. Grealish, when Man City played Villa in the last season of the game, when they subbed Bernardo Silva and Riyad Mahrez off. After the game, he said, got to sub Riyad Mahrez off. He was playing like Mikel Almiron. Guess what? He's 4th in the goal scoring charts this season.
Right.
He scored more goals than Grealish, Mahrez,
That's not difficult, is
and
it?
Bernardo Silva this season.
How many goals has Grealish scored this season? Other than, because he spends most of the time flat out on the floor. How many goals has he scored?
2.
Well worth the money. But anyway, so Southampton lost 4-1. Like I say, Newcastle are in 4th place now, am I right?
Yes. You are. I think they're 3rd.
Could even be
they
3rd.
Could be 3rd.
Have we got to fear Newcastle now? I mean, are they a risk to the 2 top teams?
They're not good enough yet.
They're not good enough yet. But
speaking of other money, Liverpool
are up for sale. And I read today that there is somebody showing an interest, an American guy who owns Burger King, and a few other corporations.
Celtic basketball or something.
Some Boston Celtics or something. I don't know what it was, but the Sheikh Mohammed or whatever his name is, who's the chairman of City, right? He owns to his name about £12 billion,
which is quite a lot of money.
Which is a lot of money, 17 billion. But apparently, this guy that's interested in taking over Liverpool owns 119 billion pounds. So something to watch out for there. I mean, Liverpool could be taken over by a very, very rich person, which is going to be very interesting in the future of football.
Here's my thing. It's not going to make any difference. It's not like Liverpool can spend stupid amounts of money a season because of regulations. A Man City 19 billion is enough. You can have that for 15, 20 years and you're fine. 19 billion.
All that's happening here now, though, is like the top teams are getting richer. They're making more of a niche up the top of the Premier League. But
what I'm saying, is Man City are going to spend as much as Liverpool every year. It makes no difference. If Newcastle get big, they're going to spend as much as each other. Just because Newcastle have way more money, doesn't mean they're going to spend more money every year.
No, it just means that Newcastle, Liverpool and City are going to be arguing over players.
Yeah.
And it just means that there's going to be 3 top teams in the Premiership. All this money just does my nut. It really, really does my nut in, because it's like, Liverpool and City and Newcastle, they can go out and they can buy, £200 million players each on the subs bench.
And that's why.
And when you've got 5 subs, it's just like, it's not fair on the likes of the smaller teams like Brentford and Nottingham Forest and teams like that just can't afford the squad.
And Nottingham Forest have quite a lot of squad depth.
Wow.
And that's why you should go down to League One and watch Plymouth Argyle.
How did they do against Grimsby the other day?
They played Grimsby.
They played Grimsby, and how did they get on in the FA
that's
Cup?
Gone out my ear. I can't remember that.
They lost 4. Was it 4 or 5-1? And I can't really say anything because Brentford lost to Gillingham on penalties the other night. It boils it. So anyway, guys, Southampton 1, Southampton 1, Newcastle 4. I've got problems reading there tonight.
You've always got problems reading.
You said 3-1.
Oh, so close.
I said 3-1.
Points.
So 1 point each for that one. Moving swiftly on.
I'm so annoyed Eze didn't get called up to the World Cup.
Who?
Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 1. Eze, he's such a good player.
So good.
Eze, Zaha,
is he?
Mitchell.
Is he called Izzy?
Eze.
Izzy. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Izzy? There's a Cornish way of saying Izzy? Yeah, boy. He is. Go on.
He's just so good on the ball. No Crystal Palace players got called up to the World Cup. How, I don't know.
And I say another player as well who's playing in midfield, I do believe, for Crystal Palace at the moment. An ex-Brentford player called Schlupp.
Oh, him?
Yeah. He has played everywhere. He's played in defence. He played on the left wing for Brentford. Now he's playing centre midfield for Crystal Palace. And apparently he's doing the business at the moment. 2-1. Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 1. Where are we on the sheet here? I can't even see it. I've got to change my glasses, bro. West Ham, I still can't see it. West Ham, you put 2-1 to West Ham. I put 2-1 to Crystal Palace. So I get 2 points. You get 0 points.
Pinky.
Which moves us swiftly on to the last game of last week. A real good game, don't you think?
No.
Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2.
What really annoyed me is Trent Alexander-Arnold did a foul.
Yeah.
A red card foul.
Yeah.
As João Cancelo would say. Didn't get sent off, no penalty.
But that was just that was just again, wasn't it? That was the consistencies of the game there last week. The referee's decisions was appalling. You said it was going to be 2-2 Spurs. No, you didn't. You said 2-1 to Liverpool.
Whee!
So you get 2 points. And I said 2-1 to Liverpool, and I got 2 points, which means I got 9 points last week. You got 7
No, I
points.
got 8.
Put it together.
No,
That
I
means
got 8.
you got.
I got 8 points.
No, you didn't. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh.
Right, which means you have now got 72 points, and I have got 85 points. Kind of running away from it, bro.
No.
Should we talk about this week's games, the last games before the World Cup?
Yes, and let's start with Manchester City, Brentford.
So, bro, what's the score going to be on this one then?
3-0 City.
3-0 City.
Erling Haaland hat-trick.
Really?
Prove himself before he goes to the World Cup. No Ivan Toney, he's not playing.
Is he not? Why is he not?
The betting thing, he can't play.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he's playing.
I think he is. He's He's helping out with investigations, which means he hasn't actually been proven. He's innocent until proven guilty. So I've not heard that he's not playing.
I don't think he's playing.
Well, he played the other night against Gillingham.
Oh yeah.
He'll be playing. But this is going to go two ways here. What you reckon it's going to be 3-0?
3-0 Haaland hat-trick.
That can Brentford, can they do anything against Haaland? I just think that he is going to be unbearable to play against. Initially, I sat down last night and I thought that Ivan Toney's going to be pretty peed off because he's not playing in the World Cup. And I reckon he's going to be out to prove something. And I had a feeling that it was going to be a Brentford are just going to squeeze a 1 or a 2-1 out. But that's what I would like in the real world. It ain't going to happen, is it?
Man City's second team is probably better than Brentford's first team.
Yeah. I have gone a very, very gracious 2-1 to Man City. I hope that's the score. I hope that we play well, but we've been playing poor recently.
But Man City could embarrass Brentford. They
could. You wouldn't be the first team this season. Second game is Liverpool versus Southampton. What do you reckon the score's going to be on that?
3-0 Liverpool. I think they got a point to prove before the World Cup. I think they're going to do it.
This is going to be...
What many people have been asking is Klopp going to play his best team or his worst team? But Liverpool have to get some points of somewhere.
I think Klopp will play his best team. Personally,
100%.
It's not down to Klopp to play his second team for the World Cup. It's going to be an interesting week, isn't it? Because is the players going to be wanting to get that? Are they going to be wanting to be fully committed on a tackle or anything as a risk that they're not going to be in the World Cup? I mean, look at it. Haaland, he's going to be playing, getting stuck in. Yeah. Ivan Toney's going to be getting stuck in. But is Mo Salah going to be getting stuck in? Is any Southampton players that I don't know?
Yeah, Mo Salah will be getting stuck in because he ain't going to the World Cup.
Right, so that's another good player. But, obviously there's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold and that's going to be, is he going to be getting... It's going to be an interesting week.
He might not even start.
No. So I've predicted 3-1 to Liverpool. You've predicted 3-0. Moving on, Bournemouth, Everton.
I have gone 2-1 Bournemouth. Because I think Bournemouth, didn't they beat them in the Cup 4-1?
I don't know.
I think they beat them in the Carabao Cup 4-1.
Right.
I think Frank Lampard's going to... Is Frank Lampard still their manager?
Yeah.
I think he's going to want to win that game.
2-1.
But he won't because Bournemouth are really good.
2-1 Everton. I reckon it's going to be a little bit of an upset. I reckon it's going to be a rubbish game. Not very interesting at all. I think Everton are going to win. Next game, West Ham, Leicester.
West Ham, Leicester. Oh, 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be very close. Here's my point though. Leicester, if they're playing like Danny Ward in goal, he's not going to want to maybe stretch as far as he can if he wants to tip it around the post. Is James Maddison going to want to sprint one-on-one, flying challenges? Is Yuri Tielemans going to want to do the same?
It'll be an interesting week.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2-1 to West Ham, and I think the Leicester manager will be gone in the morning.
Ooh.
I've been saying this for weeks now. If I carry on saying it, at some point it's going to come true, innit? But there we are. 2-1 to West Ham for me. I'm going for a West Ham win. Next game is going to be a cracker.
Yes.
Spurs are at home to Leeds United.
I think if Leeds play well, they can win this game. But if Spurs score a goal, an early goal in the first half, I think Spurs have won.
Thing is, it's like you never know who's gonna turn up for for Leeds, do you? You never know how they're going to turn up. But haven't Spurs lost 3 games in a row now?
Probably have.
I can't see them losing this game, personally. I think it's going to be 3-2 to Southampton. Sorry, Spurs, right? I think it's going to be 3-2 to Spurs. Can't see Spurs losing because I can't see him losing 4 games in a row.
Yeah, fair point.
Next game, Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. This is going to be another interesting one.
Yes, it definitely is. And I've gone for a surprise. Maybe, I don't think you've predicted this, but 2-2.
2-2.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone
Dominic Solanke masterclass.
2-1.
No, that is Dominic Solanke plays for Bournemouth.
two.
So he's going to play well for Bournemouth.
2-1.
Not Nottingham Forest.
2-1 Palace, me. I think that Forest, I'm hoping that Forest are going to lose because they need to keep on losing. The teams below us need to keep on losing. And I think that Palace are just above us. And if they're not, I'd like a draw. But yeah, there you are. Next game, Newcastle versus Chelsea. Possibly the game of the week.
No, the game of the week.
The game of the week. What's your score predictions?
Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle?
Yeah.
Something that we agree on, bro. I've said exactly the same, 2-1. Who do you reckon the scorers are going to be for this game?
Miguel Almiron, Callum Wilson, and Raheem Sterling.
I'm going to go a Spria for Newcastle, and I am going to go possibly...
Who?
I am possibly going to go for Peter Beardsley for the second one for Newcastle, and then Crystal Palace, Vialli. That's what I'm going to say. Chelsea, Vialli.
Who the hell were they?
Exactly. But I don't know who plays for Chelsea. I don't know anybody for Newcastle, so I'm going old school. Old school players, mate. Old school players. Anybody that's watching this that's old school, they will know what we're talking about. But I'm going to go 2-1 to Newcastle.
Now here is when the upsets come. Wolves face
Everton. The Toffees.
No, don't.
Wolves versus Everton.
Everton are playing Bournemouth.
Well, who are Wolves playing then? Because I haven't got a clue.
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
They're not playing Everton.
All right, okay. Well, I'm going to have to cross that out then. Wolves versus Arsenal.
Because Arsenal are going to score no goals.
Arsenal are going to score no goals.
But I will Wolves. 0-0, goalless draw. The first time here in a goalless draw.
Okay. I'm saying 2-0 to Arsenal against Wolves. Who's going to score?
Not Everton.
Who's going to score for Arsenal?
No one.
I'm going to say the 2 goals are going to be from...
Don't you dare. Don't even try it.
Dennis Bergkamp and possibly Michael Thomas. Brighton versus Villa. What have you got for this one, mate? Don't ask me for any Brighton scores because I don't know anybody that plays football for Brighton, old or new.
I think Unai Emery's going to want to do some defensive things, and I think he's going to do it right. And I think Brighton are going to score 1 goal, and Aston Villa are going to score 1 goal.
Oh, so you're going for a draw on that one,
Yeah.
a score draw. I'm going for Brighton 2, Villa 1. Last game,
Lovely.
Fulham. Now, this is going to be a cracker. Fulham versus Manchester United, the best team in Manchester. What do you reckon the score is going to be on this one?
I don't want to speak to you anymore. But it will be 2-1 United.
I'm saying 2-1 to United as well. So there is our predictions. Zach's got a lot of catching up to do. I've got 85 points. You've got 72. So being a mathematician, how many games, how many points? You've got to pick up 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting
3,
one.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So there we are, guys.
So I could get 20 points back.
So there we are, guys. That is our predictions for week 16. If you have watched this video and you've liked what you've seen, please
like and subscribe.
Yes, please recommend to a friend.
Yeah.
Family.
Unless you haven't got any friends, then that's sad.
So be family or your dog or anything like that. You know, just consider liking and subscribing. Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah.
We will be back next week.
To get buying out United, we need to buy at Liverpool now.
We're going to be buying out both.
Both of them.
Do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming back next week and we're going to be doing, chatting about this week's games, and we're also going to be coming up very, very soon, and we're going to be talking about the England squad
Before we go,
to the World Cup. Go on.
I
before we
need to
go.
show you our new mascot,
Go on.
and it's called the Tax Dog.
Tax dog. Go and get him. Guys, he's just got to worry about him, to be honest with you. I mean, he's wearing a stupid shirt. You know, he's got Reuben on the back, right? And he's also got this hoodie that makes him look like a bit of a weird one. Here he is. This is our new mascot. Next week on the next predictions, Zach is going to be wearing this to give his predictions.
10 likes and I'll wear it.
10 likes, guys, and he will wear it. And also, don't forget to get in the comments, right? Tell us what your game of the week's going to be. Give us some score predictions. And, if we get 10 extra likes, 10 likes, I don't know where we're going to find these likes from, but 10 likes, he's going to wear it. To be honest, between you and me, he's going to wear it anyway. Anyway, guys, stay safe, stay classy. Zach?
See ya.